Hey there, everybody. I am Martin from Matthews Studio Equipment here. We are here at NAB 2023, and I want to tell you a little bit about our company. We are the original Hollywood grip company. We've been in business for 55 years, and we have made many pieces of gear that have become the industry standard, because we are the industry standard of grip gear when it comes to lighting support and camera support. We are the go-to. We are the innovators. We 55 years ago started with textiles as well as hardware, and if you've heard of a C-stand, we were the creators of the folding leg C-stand. As soon as shows started to become mobile and they started leaving the studios, there was a need to be able to have gear that would transport well. So the legs on our C-stands, which used to be welded solid, we made them so that they could fold up, get onto the truck, get to location, build it up, and there you go. You are bringing the studio to your locations, and that was a very big part of Matthews' beginning. Matthews also made a standardization of measurements. So you have the baby pin and the junior pin. These are the way that you mount and you connect your equipment. And every different manufacturer, every different studio used to make all their own gear, and they all had different measurements of their equipment, so nothing worked with one another. Matthews entered the scene as a manufacturer and started standardizing the 1 1/8 pin, which is a junior pin for mounting large units, and then the 5/8 pin, which you see right on the top of here. That's also known as a baby pin. Those are now the standardized measurements, and everybody's gear all around the world can interface with one another because of that standardization. We are a company that designs and innovates from within the industry. We don't sit in an office and think, what could they use? We are on set. We are working with extremely creative people who are in the grip department, in the lighting department, in the camera department, and we are problem solvers. So I can show you some other wonderful gear that we are very proud to manufacture and are happy to see is the industry standard of grip equipment. So here we see many of our clamps. We have all sorts of support. That's what it comes down to when you're trying to solve problems. How can I put this here? How can I put this there? We are the people who are going to help you mount and rig your equipment wherever you need it. We have many different clamps here. Some of these are for production use that can be thrown into action without any tools and can be very simply mounted and dismounted on the day while you are shooting. Other pieces of our gear are made more for rigging, for things that are going to be up in a lighting grid. If you need to hang large units overhead, the first thing you need to do is be safe as possible, because the entire crew, all the actors, everybody working on a production in a photo studio, wherever you are, they need to know that they're in a safe environment. So all of our equipment is welded as best as it can be welded with the best materials. We will never cut corners. We will always make sure that we have the best welds, the best steel, the best aluminum, the best textiles, and that they are always consistent. From one year to the next, we always work with a supply chain that will get us the best of all materials, and that's what goes into our equipment, and that is why you receive a premium product when you're dealing with Matthews Studio. We have the Mathellini clamp. It's a very wonderful clamp. It has parallel jaws. On this end, it has a baby pin. It's all the small features in here that make it the best of the best. We are the first ones to knurl the undercut. When you mount something, you don't want it to slip around, so this knurl right here on the undercut is going to make sure that your equipment stays put. We also have a safety hole. This little hole right here doesn't look like much, but once you have equipment rigged overhead, you can put a pin through there, a cotter pin or an R pin, to make sure whatever is mounted onto your clamp overhead is going to stay where it belongs and isn't going to come crashing down. Safety is no accident, and Matthews makes sure that you have all the features you need to be able to have a safe environment, as well as an investment quality piece of equipment. You want to buy once. You don't want to have to continue to buy clamps and grip equipment because they keep wearing out and failing because of cheap components. Cheap does not exist in our catalog. We make everything investment quality so that you can depend on your gear to be able to work day in and day out and get a return on that investment. And we give you the power to create very confidently. And we have all sorts of wonderful rigging equipment here that is going to be a large erector set. So when you're trying to solve a problem, you're able to look into your box of tricks and your tool chest, and everything is going to work very, very well with one another because of the standardization of measurements. You have your junior pin, you have your baby pin, and within those, and then you have your 3/8 pin right here. That's a 3/8 receiver. And if you see inside of our head here, there's small ridges. There's a certain shape right here. So we have multiple points of contact when you are trying to rig your equipment. That way, nothing's gonna come loose. Nothing's gonna wiggle loose when you are rigging onto a vehicle and it is driving through, down the road. All the gear, everything's going to be shaking around, but we make sure that everything has multiple points of contact and that it is made with the best materials possible so that everything will stay where you put it. Very, very important. You need consistency, you need strength, and you need reliability. That's what Matthews is going to give you. Matthews is a company that was born in Hollywood. We are in Burbank, California. That is where our manufacturing facility is. That's where we make our equipment. That's where we assemble everything. That's where we make sure that everything is up to the highest quality. So it's American-made, amazing grip equipment that you can rely and depend on.
Good.
Right on.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, brother.
Guys, show